Todd Nicholson, chef de mission for the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games and Paralympic gold medalist with Team Canada at the 2006 Paralympic Games in Turin, Italy. So welcome to all of those guests. C'est un plaisir d'être parmi vous tous ce matin pour le dévoilement du chandail de hockey olympique et paralympique d'équipe Canada. En tant qu'Olympienne, c'est toujours spécial de voir les chandails que j'ai portés sur les amateurs que je rencontre dans les arénas d'un océan à l'autre. I've had the privilege to represent Canada as part of the national women's hockey team at 4 Winter Olympic Games. And I can tell you that when we see fans wearing those Olympic jerseys, it always takes us right back to those very special Olympic moments. When Canada steps on the ice at the Olympic and Paralympic Games, the world's biggest sporting stage, we are 36 million strong, with fans cheering us on from coast to coast to coast. For the 2018 hopefuls for our men's, women's, and para-hockey teams, the first look at these jerseys helps to fuel them through the home stretch as they work to earn a spot on their respective teams. For those fans who are excited to cheer on Canada's athletes next February and March, the unveiling of the jersey represents an important visual identity that they can start to connect with in the lead up to the games and the announcement of Canada's final team rosters. So without further ado, I'd like to please welcome Steve McLeod, the Senior Creative Director of Olympic Apparel for Nike, along with some special guests from Canada's grassroots hockey system to help introduce Canada's 2018 Olympic and Paralympic hockey team jersey. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
It is my privilege to represent Nike here today in Toronto to share for the first time one of our most exciting innovations for the 2018 Olympics and Paralympics, the Team Canada jersey. We have worked in partnership with Hockey Canada and the Canadian Olympic Committee to create a uniform that will help Team Canada break away from the rest. I'm excited to unveil Nike's new design for the Team Canada hockey jersey. When designing the Canadian jersey, one of the things that my design team had top of mind is how this is much more than a hockey sweater. We needed to create a design that embodied a nation that lives and breathes the sport and inspires our Canadian athletes to push limits, to showcase how they are the fastest, toughest, and most explosive players on earth. Now, when we started to think about the pursuit of gold, we were inspired by how generations of designers, explorers, and tinkerers have sought a magic formula. For athletic apparel, that formula often comes from a perfect equation of fit and weight. When the balance is met, garments are shaped with critical brands. After all, triumph comes in the tightest of margins, and athletes are free of distractions. This is paramount, because when they look and feel their best, they play their best. Nowhere is this clear than in winter sports such as hockey, where protective equipment is critical and finding equilibrium is crucial to advancing potential. The Team Canada hockey jerseys helps bring this alchemy to life. As you look at the jerseys that surround us, you will notice the gold around the edges of the maple leaf and the numbers. Elevating the fonts and numbers takes us to another level of performance and power. We wanted to also create a jersey that is lightweight and breathable, which we accomplished with ripstop material and more mesh to increase ventilation. We shifted to single-layer, laser-perforated numbers that are applied with heat rather than stitching to increase breathability and articulation. And for better articulation for the athlete, we shifted to a small, intricate badge which reduced weight. But let's get back to the notion of alchemy. It involves curating and transforming different metals. We believe that precious metals are even more beautiful in the company of other precious metals. This element of the theme comes to life with the following films and flicker capabilities employed throughout the jersey. We have incorporated fluid force, a design innovation through a cascading gradient, a new jewel blade swoosh inspired by a hockey skate blade, with chrome flicker film that sparkles under the arena lights. The flicker film base, rather than heavy twill, for the crest and numbers that increases vibrancy. And injected silicone molds that make all the trims pop. The Canadian national team jersey features a unique font and numbering. The flicker films are red over the maple leaf on the center of the front crest, and gold around the edges of the leaf and the numbers. I'm looking forward to seeing how these athletes who were born to break away will take the jersey to PyeongChang this winter and inject their own alchemy and their own pursuit of gold.
Excellent. Now, Steve, thank you very much, Steve. I love all three colors. I love the shimmer of gold. It's fascinating how the alchemy and the transition of matter all tie in with Team Canada's quest for gold. Nike has been Hockey Canada's jersey provider since 1996, and this is the third jersey the company has produced for Canada's Olympic and Paralympic hockey teams. The history of Canada's on-ice success during that period includes countless men's, women's, and para-hockey world championships, and 5 Olympic and Paralympic podium performances. I'd like to please invite Tom Rennie, CEO of Hockey Canada, to talk about the partnership with Nike and the role that these jerseys have in the future of Canada's game. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for a great job of keeping this moving early in the contest, at least. I want also to acknowledge Chris Overholt, Todd Lushko, Todd Nicholson, and Steve McLeod for being here this morning, and congratulate them for their part in making this morning real special. As Jennifer mentioned earlier, this is a very, very special day for, of course, the athletes who will get the opportunity to don this jersey. No question about that. It's a very proud moment for them, having been a part of an Olympic experience myself in the past. It's so symbolic of the effort that these athletes put into being Olympians on behalf of our country, to say the least. And I think that they'll be very, very proud to win that honor and privilege of wearing this jersey, whether it's women's, men's, or para hockey. That being said, I think it's also important to acknowledge the staffs and the work that's being done behind the scenes in order to prepare these athletes to put their best foot forward. It's incumbent upon me to recognize that all of those people too have given up an awful lot of their time to help Canada and these athletes put their best foot forward. And certainly we look forward to them feeling awfully proud too in PyeongChang and the effort that our athletes put forward in the Olympic Games. My hockey career has presented me with a lot of wonderful opportunities. I'm very, very grateful for that. The one thing that I've always identified with, even as a young fellow, was the Olympic experience. And certainly I had my opportunity in 1994 in Lillehammer, where a group of athletes that weren't supposed to do very well did just that. They did quite well, as a matter of fact, playing in the last game of the competition. But it gave me an opportunity firsthand to recognize and acknowledge what I thought was there in the spirit of the Olympic Games in the first place, by being a part of that very, very special experience. Todd Lushko will have an opportunity to speak a little bit further about that, as will Todd Nicholson as well. But that gave me a first-hand opportunity to realize how important this whole experience is for all of us, whether you're a fan, whether you're an official, whether you're a coach, whether you're a participant. Opportunities like this really galvanize our country, and to say the least, I certainly felt that when I was in Lillehammer as coach of the '94 team. That being said, the Olympic Games helped us kind of identify who and what we are as Canadians, and we can't lose sight of that. It's really very, very important. And I believe that through the sport of hockey, para, women's, men's, but sport in general across this country, we have to reach out and embrace it, and nothing does it better than the Olympic Games and the Paralympics. That gives us an opportunity to embrace exactly what we're all about as a citizenship. Also, beyond that though, and certainly when you think of hockey, you think of the wonderful skills that everyone has an opportunity to exhibit, the speed at which the game is played at, in any three disciplines, quite honestly. But also, more importantly, for us at Hockey Canada, for sure, and I know our partners in this endeavor, we identify too with what it does in terms of developing life skills for the athletes and all participants, again, whether you're a coach or an official or whatever the case may be. This is about developing our citizenship, and the Olympic Games provides an opportunity to do that better than any other. And with that, you find the opportunity to develop lessons in perseverance, if you will, teamwork, if you will, the integrity that goes along with being a teammate and a good, solid competitor and an honest competitor. That's really, really critical in all of this, and should not be lost on the fact that this jersey represents that. When you look at the logo and you look inside the logo, you see the heartbeat of another Canadian.